Hey, how you doing? My name is Anthony Gray. Welcome to yet another episode of Grayscale. All right, I'm continuing on with the tutorials that I have requested about what are the 10 paintings you would like to see done. And this one will be of a polar bear winter scene and the Aurora Borealis. All right, so what I've done here is painted 11 by 15 inch watercolor paper in straight black here. Okay, now I've done a double mask. There are two polar bears here, but also there's a mountain range that I also masked. So 2-inch masking tape, I covered the polar bears first. The mountain was second. So when it comes for me to remove the tape, the mountain comes first. The polar bears will be last. So everything else will be somewhat pretty much painted, and the polar bears will be the very last thing to be painted. Okay. The Aurora paintings usually don't take too long to do. It will be the bears, the animals, that will probably take the most time. Okay. So what I'm going to do is coat the top and where the lake would be, the little water here would be. I'm gonna coat that with a thin layer of glycerin shampoo mix. It just prolongs the drying time of paint and moves the paint around a little bit better before it sets and dries, so you can get certain effects with it, because I work with acrylic paint. All right, so this is a wet on wet oil painting technique, and just transfer it over to acrylic. All right, and we'll be getting started here. All right, now I usually have a cutaway, but I won't do one for this one. I'll just let you know that I am going to use what's called transparent colors. All right, alizarin crimson, phthalo green, and phthalo blue are transparent colors. What are transparent colors? When you put the colors on black, it will still appear black. That's transparency. All right, so those are three of the transparent colors, and they're going to be our colors for the auroras. All right, okay, so let's put on a nice thin coat of the glycerin here. Now glycerin, when it gets in contact with air, it becomes a lot more lucid, a lot thinner. So put it on extremely light. Okay, scrub it onto your canvas. All right, and make sure you cover what you're supposed to be doing. All right, yeah, all I need is a really thin cover of this stuff. Okay, and then I'll put some right down in here, very thin covering of it, just right around in here, this area right here. And that's about all I need for that, and you can see the glare. Okay, all right, so I guess I'll take a smaller brush to put the color on. Now for the lake area here, I'll use a little bit of the phthalo blue right here. I'll just put some on each end here, just like that. I'm gonna rinse it off. You'll be doing a lot of rinsing off. I'll just dry it off on a towel here. I'll get a little coat of green. I'll put the green right up in here somewhere. Mix it in with the blue a little bit, just like that. So it's got a little bit of green, a little bit of blue in the water here. All right. Now watch what happens. I'm going to take a nice thin coating of titanium white, pretty thin coat, and watch what happens. As I just aim downward, it's going to pick up the color of the green, of the blue. See how that happens? Okay. I'm just wiping it off, and I'm just gonna just like so. All right, now I can brighten that up, of course. You can kind of get away with certain things just like that. So it's going to kind of emulate what you see in the sky a little bit. And maybe a little bit here. Just like that. All right, it all makes sense. As you see, it did remain black until you put the white on. All right, much like that. Okay, now with me doing that, the auroras will be pretty much the same way. Okay, now I'm going to take some blue, phthalo blue. It's, you know, everything's pretty much still wet, and I'm just going to go straight down with it, just like that. It will still appear black. All right, I might put a little bit of that blue right up in here, just a little bit like that, halfway. Okay, and maybe something, a little something down at the bottom here. Okay, rinse off your brush. As you can see, being transparent, it still appears black. I'm gonna get a little green. Okay, I'll put the green halfway up here, like this. Phthalo green, it's very transparent, it still appears black, as you can see. Okay. Maybe a little bit of that green up here in this corner, like that. All right. I'm rinsing off the brush. Now we're going to go into our alizarin crimson, which will also appear black, as you can see. See this? I'll mix a little bit of that in there. You get some purple going in there. A little more alizarin crimson. We're going to come maybe around in here somewhere. It's like that. Get some purple kind of color going, just like that. So everything's kind of mixing in there. All right. Now here comes the band of white. Okay, you can do this any type of way you want. You can use any type of style you feel you would like to have for your borealis. Okay, so I'll just take some white. All right, and I guess I'll start from up top here. I'll go out, come around, and go like that. So I'll just stir it around like this, like that. All right, I'll wipe it off. The paint's going to remain wet for a minute, and I'll pop in some right around in here like this, just like that. I'll just keep it going till you get the kind of the look that I'm looking for, just like so. Rinse it off again. Dry off my brush. The borealis really don't take very long to do, and I'll come around here. I'll just bring it this way. Look at the colors. See the colors that are starting to happen with it? Just like that. I'll just keep it going here, and I'll fade a little bit of that. Get some of that red going in there. Just like so. As long as the paint's still relatively wet, you can, you know, kind of, I'll put it like this for this one, just like that, and maybe a little upward like this, and come downward, and just fade a bit, just like so. Now, I'll just softly aim it upward, just like so. Aim some of it upward, just like so. Very soft, nice soft edges there to it. Bring it upward. Same thing with this guy here. Bring it up a little bit, just like that. So you get all sorts of interesting happenings with it. Very soft, just like that. So I got it appearing very soft, very soft. just like that. I don't have to have it extremely bright or anything like that. As you can see, this is pretty much a dry down here, so that's all good. But that's pretty much what you're looking for, more or less. As I'm looking at it here, I think we're good. I'm going to take a toothbrush. I don't think that'd be necessary because I'm gonna probably put some snow around in this, so I really wouldn't need the toothbrush per se. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't need a toothbrush because it'd just interfere with. I was gonna put some stars there, but it really wouldn't matter. All right, okay. We're gonna work on the next stage, which would be the mountains. Now the mountains I'll approach a little differently. I'll do it as a wash of paint. Let's make sure I get this off. Now this is the second mask, which will come off first because it will be the mountains. Okay, so the mountains would pretty much stop at the bear's back. All right, let's get some of this off here. And what I'm doing, I'm giving it a slight pull. I got one more here. So hold on for me. I know I had another strip. There we go. There we go. Just pull it right off. I'm doing a pull and lift method so I don't tear up anything. But this is just the body of the mountain here. There we go. Okay. And once you pull the mask off, you just throw it away. All right. All right. I'm going to get a little bit of black. What I'm going to do for the wash is I'm going to add black and white. Obviously, it makes gray. Okay. So I'm going to get a little bit of black here. Just a touch. Don't need too much black. And we're going to use plenty of water, and we're going to establish for the mountain range all our depth and perception and phase and whatnot with this wash of black and white. So what I'm going to do is I'll gently mix in the black and white, get a little form of gray going. All right. Now you go light gray first. Then we're going to build our tones from there. Now what I'm going to do is dip my brush into the water to make the paint almost like watercolor. Okay, hence what's going to be called a wash. All right, and you're not going to make a perfect flat color of this. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get as close as I can to the edge here. Close as you can to the edge. All right, this is the lightest form of gray right now. And like I said, this is just acrylic paint and water right now. Okay, as long as I get that edge straight, what's going on underneath won't matter because we'll be covering that up. I just want to make sure I get as close as I can to that edge. Don't disturb too much of that color up above. And what you're going to get is a nice transition and a nice contrast between the snowy mountain and the colors of the auroras at night. So just a light form of gray and water. Get some more water here. I still got paint on here. That's one of the advantages of acrylic. Okay, you still maintain that same color, and if you tend to run out of it, you just add the water. Now I'm gonna get a little more titanium white, touch of gray, just lighten it up a little bit. Still keep that really light gray in there. Get some more water. Still keep the paint extremely watery. Okay, because you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the colors to kind of, well, I'm making it transparent, and you want the col and it's going to build there. Okay, as long as we got all that color down there, we're good. Okay, and then all the rest, we're going to institute all different shades and tones and whatnot. And we're going to go and make mountain patterns with this as we move along here. Okay, and I'll go along with the texture or the pattern, the shape of the mountains. I'm just mixing up a whole lot more different tones of gray. Now, I'm getting some water, putting it in here, make it really watery. Now, if you feel you have too much on your brush, you can easily get rid of it. Okay, just wipe a little bit away on your towel or tissue or whatever you have to clean your brushes. Just wear off a little bit of that paint. Okay, now I'm gonna come down here on the bottom here. Okay, now the bottom obviously will be covered with more snow and stuff, but right now I'm just gonna fill it in with that gray right up in here. It's a darker form of gray here. Okay, and then I'll start playing around with different tones and shapes. And when you are masking something and it's like covering, let's say, well, for all intents and purposes, covering the bears right now, and that's okay. Paint like the bears don't even exist. You follow me? Act like they don't even exist. Now, while the paint's a little bit wet, you can dry brush different tones of black in there. See this? Just like so. Go with what you would represent the path of the mountain would be. Different tones of gray. I'm using different shades and tones of gray right now. Just getting, like I say, the path of the mountains. I'm gonna just block all this in and we'll keep playing with it. Now, when it comes to doing the colors, the initial colors of the snow-capped mountains or the mountains in snow, we'll use brighter white and maybe tones of other colors. But that depends if I choose to glaze it over or not. So we'll see as we go on. All right. Getting a little bit more water and some black, mixing it with part of the gray, and we can start making little patterns here. Just like so. You can get different there, let's get that a little more solid in there. Okay, you can get different textures of, depending on how you want your mountains to look, different textures of light and shade if you want a light and a dark half of your mountain. It really depends on you. And now I'm gonna add more paint, some water, and it would be more like a dry brush. All right, depending on what part of the mountain you want to be shaded or not. Okay, and so now I'm just gonna mess around with the typography of the mountains a little bit. And remember, you can add color to this when you're finished. All up to you. I'm gonna get a little bit of white, pure titanium white right now. Well, it's got a little bit of gray in it. And we'll start adding little bits of snow to this guy. Just like this. Like so, and we'll just kind of scrumble it on there. You want patterns of rough patchy snow glazing on the mountain here and there. Right now I'm going more heavily towards one side than the other. And just keep looking at it. Look at how your mountains are forming and laying out. Okay, and right now I'm just going in one direction. Okay, going brighter and brighter each time. And you know, the brighter you have certain areas, the less of it you need. Basically, I'm coming right down here to the bottom. I'll keep working at it. Curve it around a little bit, like so. So as you can see, we got some windswept stuff going on around in here. Just like that. All those rough patches you see. Just like that. I'll come up around here, lay some of this out. As long as you got a general direction of where your brighter snow is. All right, it sells the illusion of, there we go. It will sell the illusion of your snow-capped stuff way in the background back there. And like I say, we can thinly glaze color onto this, which will even accentuate it more and also bring your mountain further back. All right, especially if you get it closer to the color of some of your auroras back there. So that really depends. It's all on you, how you want it to look. All right. Okay. So as we keep moving along here, I don't need glaze for anything else. I'm getting some more black. I'm just mixing another form of gray here. Okay. And we're going to work on some of the background stuff. Okay. Like the snow back here. So let's come in a little bit and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's zoom this in. Now, if I pan this, you can see the texture of the mountains and what they're looking like. All right. Now I'm using more of a dry brush method for this, and because it's snow, and we got a black, mostly black surface we're painting on. Obviously, you're not gonna showcase all of that black. All right. Now, the water's edge, you're gonna have to keep pretty tight here. All right, and we're gonna just kind of block that in a little bit, right in here, just like that. All right, but mainly we're concerned about all this goodness right up in here, and we're gonna brighten up some of that snow, go right around the edge of your mountain there. Okay, I'm just using the dry brush, no glaze, no water, just all there. I'm gonna just block all that in, just like that. Make it nice and patchy. There's no darkened snow, so just like that. And I'm just using titanium white, a little bit of black, just to gray it up a little bit. Okay. So it's only the two main colors of black and white, just like that. We'll get to finalizing some of this snow. We get bits of snow going into the lake a little. Okay, so we're gonna work on that too. Doesn't take long. Right now I'm just blocking everything in. Now you can lighten up some of this using the same 1/2" brush. Okay, and we'll just scumble in some of that brightness. Now, a lot of what I'm doing here, when we get to doing a little bit of glazing, all right now I'm just gonna highlight where the tops are, just like so. Just highlight it a little bit, just like that. You'll see as I'm doing this. I can take some of my snow and bring it out here on the ice a little bit, just like that. Go in one direction also. So do it all in one direction, like that. So you can bring in some right across the ice here. Scumble some of that nice snow right across the ice, just like that, just like so. You can let some of that set and dry, and you can get some smoother tones with it if you would like, just like so. All right, like I said, a lot of this is coming in the glazing. You'll see, but I want to make sure I get a nice separation of where the snow is going to be here, just like that. So you know that this is just a mound of snow right here, and we'll work on light and shade as we keep going with there, and we'll keep it just like that. Now underneath the bear's legs, we're gonna, well, no, let's work down here. Let's work down here first. I'm getting a little darker gray. All right, so it's just some titanium white and black. All right, and we're gonna kind of get some mounds of snow right about in here, just like this, and bounce it around just like that. We'll block that in with a little darker snow, just like that, and we'll block this in. Yes, it's a darker form of gray, but we're going to build off of this, just like you would build off making grass or something like that, or a hill, you know, you'll get your establishing color first. Okay, that's all. And we're making some of this black go away here, just like that. Doesn't take too long to really do. So we got a nice little batch right there. We're gonna go a little bit lighter on the gray now. A little lighter gray, using the side of my brush, which is giving me those rough patchy type of streaks. I'm using the side of the brush, and we're gonna kind of just glaze it on across here. It'll skip and do certain things, just like that. Okay, and we'll do it just like that right on one side here, and we'll give it a little touch up there like that, and we'll bring some of that down, just like so. Okay. And you keep messing with it until you get what you like. Just like that. Okay. So you got your little lake snow here. You got your foreground snow, which is a little darker than what you got up here. And then you have your mountains in the back. Okay, now as we're doing this, I'm going back into my little light form of gray in between the bear's legs here. All right, you gotta act like the bear doesn't even exist. All right, a lot of dry brushing. So right up into it, you gotta act like the bears don't even exist. You're just blocking the color in right now. Just like that, nice rough texture there. Act like the bears don't exist. Keep it moving, keep going. Just like this. All right. Got a little bit behind here. Yeah. Bring some of that out like that. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take some titanium white. I still got some titanium white on here. Side of the brush. All right. And we'll just work some different patterns and shades all up under here. All right, just like that. Not adding any other colors or anything as of yet. Doesn't really need it. Just like that. Just continue it on. Just like that. Like I say, you have to act like it doesn't even exist. All right, now we have some foreground here, where the foreground snow would be. All right, I'm gonna get some water. I'm going into my titanium white, add a little bit of black in there. All right, and we're going to nicely block in the foreground snowbank here. This is the main snowbank to where the bears are. They're up on the other side of this. Okay, I'm getting plenty of water here. Going into my gray mix, make it really loose. And you start blocking this in. You make that black disappear. You don't need no, it's a snow scene. There's no black snow. Okay, so we're just blocking it in. Just blocking it in, like so. We're gonna get the tones and highlights and stuff like that as we're doing this. You don't have to make this extremely nice and pretty. That won't be needed. We'll be primarily using a whole lot of titanium white until all this dry, and then we'll really be kind of coy, adding slipping in some colors into the snow here to get a genuine snowy feel. Okay, but it is various tints and tones of gray, approaching it with this method. All right, and we'll just come on down. Now as you can see, it's a little bit brighter than what I previously put down, and that's fine. That's fine. I can make it darker if I choose to. But remember, you're gonna put colors on top of this, and mainly you're blocking in all that black. All right, block it right in. There we go. There. Block in all that dark there. Okay. Here we go. We'll have a little fun. We're gonna dry brush some patterns and stuff in the snow. Side of the brush, very important. side of the brush, and you just take it and go on along, and wherever you want the mounds of snow to be, just like that. And you're gonna wear it all off your brush. Look at this. See those patterns you're getting? And you can build and take away and take away. It all depends on what you're looking for in a snowbank. But whatever you do for your snowbank, make sure the ridge, your edges are bright so you can tell what's what. All right. And there's some patterns that you really want to keep, because remember, once this dries, you're going to be glazing over some of this. All right. So some of the darker gray is fine. Now in a softer version, I'm just using pure titanium white, if you're wondering. Just like that. Going straight down. Right to the corner. You see how I'm just scrambling in the snow patterns. A shorter bristled brush will also help you with a lot of this. Just want to brighten this edge, just like that. Now, just pure titanium white, little thicker paint. I'm just highlighting certain areas of, especially around the edge. You really want to get some definition, like so. And since this is a nighttime scene, okay, you can kind of play around with, if you want the shadows of the bear to be in the front or in the back, okay, you can kind of control that. Like I say, I'm really bumping up the brightness of the tops of this bank. Now you can start to make separate little mounds and hills, you know, like this. Okay. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna just make some of this bottom disappear a little bit, fade it into the darker patterns of gray. All right, so you have little highlights and little bumps here and there, just like that. Once you get accustomed to doing things of this nature, it becomes almost like breathing. You do whatever you feel you would like to do. You can curve some of the snow if you would like. Okay, really up to you. But as you can see, I definitely got an edge. You can see the edge. This is the big foreground here, just like so. Okay, now let's work our way back over here. Obviously this is behind everything, and like I say, we're gonna glaze color on here. I'm gonna rinse off my 1/2 inch here. It's a long bristled 1/2 inch brush. I don't need any more of this for this brush, so we'll set this down. I'm going to go with a shorter brush, a shorter let's see if I can find one. If not, I can just go with the filbert. I'll go with the filbert here. So it's a smaller brush, smaller filbert. I'm going to take some white, titanium white, only on the tip of the filbert, about that much. Let's come in some more. Let's go on the bank back here. This guy right here. And what I'm going to do is I'll lightly kind of scrumble in and highlight a little edge here. Now I'm taking most of the paint off because I don't need no more than that, and I'll just scrumble in some small patches in here, some little baby patches, just like that. Just highlight the edge a little bit, the smallest amount of white, and you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, and just scrumble in the rest, just like so. Okay, I don't need to cover up really too much of this, just like that. And bring some down over here a little bit, because this is foreground stuff. But now you're dealing with light and shade. All right, there, just like that. Don't need too much. Like I say, you're going to, once you color it in, you're doing the quote unquote hard part right now, to be honest with you. All right, we're gonna do the same thing over there on the other side. We're gonna skip across the little lake here. And you can't see it here. Skip across the lake, we're gonna go over here on this side. Slowly build up a few things. Just a few. All right. And just little dots of bright here and there. So I got my paint on pretty thick. I can spread it around like that. Pop some here. And we're gonna really highlight, accentuate some of that out here. And up here when it goes across the snow here. Right around the lake here. Okay, we can wear some of that down now. Just like that, wear some of that. Up around in here. Get a little more titanium white, and we're gonna accentuate the snow going across the ice here. Just like that. A little bit here, a little bit of brightness right here, going right across the ice here. Just like that. And we're gonna get a little bit of snow in here like that, and we'll just wear some of that away. This will make sense once we start to gently glaze some color in here. Okay. And we're gonna outline where the snow goes across the ice. We're gonna outline that a little bit also. You'll see. You'll see. Okay, I think we pretty much did a nice number on that. Let's get this small filbert here, just a tip. Let's go up here. Now these guys are in the background. We'll show them a little bit of highlight love, just a little bit, not much. The brighter you go, the less of it you need, okay? Pure titanium white for right now. And we'll just kind of lightly highlight some stuff going on in here, just like this. Very lightly, you're gonna scrumble some patterns on here. Just like that, go in the path of the mountain there. Okay, we'll have a little bit coming down here. Just kind of, see this? Just like that. Okay, and it just gives you nice little peaks of snow happening. Very unforgiving place. Very pretty to look at, but I wouldn't be caught out here. You're just going to be in a world of hurt. All right, just like so. Just fade some of that on the edge here. All right, and we'll pop in a couple here. I'm painting right off the tape. Don't be afraid to paint right on the tape. All right, act like this stuff don't exist. Let's give a ridge here. Let's give a continuing ridge right here, just like that. So that adds a little bit of depth and even into your background mountain a little bit here, like that. All right. Okay. See, it doesn't take very long. Let's go here to this lake. I'm cleaning off the filbert brush. I'm going to get a script liner or a liner brush, something very thin. I'll get the script liner. Okay, I'm going to dip my script liner in some water. I'm going to get the black ink kind of inky here, inky consistency. Okay, now why am I doing this? You're going to make your lake look like glass for 1 second here. I'm putting my tray away for 1 minute. Okay, let's go to the edge here. Now watch what I'll do. I'll just take this black and I'm going to outline the bottom, just the bottom, just like so. All right, only on one side. We'll curve it a little bit, just like that. It gets thin. We're going to come here and do the same thing, just like that, and we're going to come on around like this, go on the inside like that. You only need a slight bit, all right, just to give that illusion of snow. It's that little tiny little bit of shadow that's going on with it here, just like that. Okay, we're gonna give it a little love right up in here, just like that, make it disappear. But there you go. Okay, so it's definitely sitting on top of the lake here. Okay, we're gonna be a little coy. We're gonna be a little coy here. Watch what I'm gonna do now. Watch what I'm gonna do. Let's take a very I can use this very small brush here. Watch this. I'm going to use only the bristles, the top bristles of this tiny flat brush. Watch what I'm going to do. Just below that black. Watch. Other but white. Come down. There we go. Get a little bit of that snowbank action going down there. Like that. You're going to fade it out a little bit. Come down here. You're going to do the same thing. It gets a little wider. Try to go in a horizontal straight line there. Alright. You can do this with a fan brush if you like. Up to you. Vary some of the strokes there. Up to you. Straight down. Drag it straight down. And the amount of up to you how much of this shine you want to come down there. So that's really up to you. And now I'm dry brushing the rest, get some little sparkles down there. Just like that. Alright. Just cleaning off the brush real fast. Okay, going back into my black once more because we've got to re-strengthen up some of those dark shadow spots. So I'm getting into my ink here, or my paint, make it an inky consistency, and just in certain spots just go back over it, just to strengthen it up a little bit. Just like so. Alright, welcome back. Here's the fun part. Now this section of the video, because you basically did all of your hard part, quote unquote hard part, during all the glaze, all the initial painting. Okay. So now comes the slick part here. You're gonna start coloring in some of this stuff. All right. We're gonna introduce another color in here real quick. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of actually no, I can do it this way. It's all right. I was gonna throw in some purple, but I don't have to when I can mix purple myself. So I'm gonna go into a little bit of alizarin crimson, a little bit of phthalo blue, which gives us a nice deep kind of a purple. Now you can have a little bit on the red side, a little bit on the blue side. That's really depending on you. Okay. All right. So I got a little bit. This is a little bit more on the blue side. Let's add a little more red, just a little bit more. There we go. We got a nice purple here. Now I'm going to go into my vegetable glycerin, which makes this stuff transparent. It thins out the color quite a bit. Okay. And that's what I'm adding right now. Adding vegetable glycerin to my purple. All right. And the key to this is adding more glycerin than purple. All right. The thinner you make your paint, the more transparent it's going to get. It doesn't change the color of the paint. All right. It doesn't make it brighter or darker. It just makes it more transparent. All right. Okay. So, with that said, we'll start glazing on different colors to your mountain here. All right, so here comes the glaze. We just glaze on some colors here, just like this. Be real coy about it. We're gonna glaze some different little snowy colors on here. All right. Be really coy about it. So I'm putting on some purple here, mainly in the shadow areas, just like this. All right. And don't worry, when you glaze on other colors besides this, I'm gonna lay it right on top of the purple. Okay. So it's really cool colors. Just like that. Just glazing on, just being really coy, real slick about it. Popping in some of these purple tones in here. All right. Just like this. Getting a little more glycerin. A little more glycerin. Getting a little touch of the blue, little touch of the red, plenty of glycerin. Now your blue and red will come out fairly dark, and what I'm going to do is add white to it, which brings out that color. There we go. Now this one this mixture I have a little more blue. I'm going to put a little more red in there. Bump up that purple tinge there. This one's a little more on the blue side, but I'm going to add more glycerin because I want it to be particularly thin. Okay. And then on top of this, when we get it all colored in and such, we'll finish off with the white. But here I'm just glazing out some darker colors here. This mountain's a little further away, so we're going to set him back a little bit. Just like this. I know you guys can still see what I'm doing here. So I'll pop him in the back there. Let's put a little bit of that up in here too. Okay, it's just separating some of the, you can glaze on top of your previous glaze. All it does is make it darker. Just like that. Just like so. Alright. I will get a little bit of the phthalo blue, a little more phthalo. Okay. And get some glycerin along with that phthalo. So it's more bluish. But remember, it's very thin color. I'm going to bring some of that down here. I'm going to test it out. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's fine. So I'm just popping in some of this blue down in here, in between the bear's legs down here. Just like that a little bit. Just like so. Matter of fact, I'll just glaze it all back in there. Just like that. I'll add a little bit of white in there. Now that I've got some of that blue going on, get a little more glaze. Put it right into that bluish color. And we're gonna be kind of coy with some of that snow color in here. Glaze some of that blue in there. Like I said, it makes it very transparent. You can take your finger, wipe across it, just like this. See this? Very coy, very coy. So I'll put some of that on the side down here. And I'll just take my finger and I'll just rub it across. Bring some over here. Just like that. Okay, I'll bring the camera in closer. You see exactly what I'm doing here. But we're just lightly glazing in that color. You see how it appears dark like this? Okay, I'm gonna bring some of that over here on the side. You see how it's like really dark? You just take your finger and you just roll it around, just like so. Bring some of that up in there. Keep rolling it around. The color rolls away. Don't worry about all of that. And remember, we're gonna add some white on top of all of this, just like that. Okay. So you're not damaging nothing. Trust me. Okay. And we'll pop some of this kind of color up in here too, just like that. We'll put a little bit of blue up in there, and we'll just rub some of that blue color up in there in the mountains a little bit. I'm just using my finger. I'm just blending it out, just like that. So it looks a little bit like that. So you got all sorts of slick little colors and things happening in here. I'll come up in here a little bit, like that. You see that hard edge? You just get rid of that hard edge. All right, you want your intensity in the middle, but you can get rid of some of that hard stuff in there. Okay, I'll come on this side up. You can't see that. Let's go up here. All right, right up in there. Now I'm just glazing in some dark areas of the mountain. You can be slick and give yourself a shadow side of the mountain, and just rub it away. All right, just getting the hard edge out of there, just like this. Okay. So you can give yourself a dark half of your mountain, lit half of the mountain. What sells this is the cool colors you're using. It is nighttime. All right. Okay. As I'm looking here and there, let's go in the foreground. We'll really play for the foreground in here. You can really get away with a lot of stuff here. I'm not using water. I'm using more glaze. I'm glazing this the bluish color here first. Okay. So down in here, you can kind of really soak it in there. This is all there. Look at that. All right, and I'm just glazing it in there. So let's say you got a hard edge like that. Come down on the bottom. This is where the darker stuff is anyway, and you want to kind of accentuate that dark stuff right around here. So you got that hard edge, but that's okay. Keep wiping away. It fades away just like that, and bring it up around in here somewhere. All right, but you don't have to have it go that far. You know, just wipe it. You can do this on canvas too. You're just wiping things away a little bit. Okay. All right. So with that done, because you can really have a lot of fun doing stuff like this. Let's get a little bit of blue, a little bit of the crimson. Put it in there. Pretty good. I'll get a little more crimson here. Make it a little purplish, a little dark. Getting a little bit of white. Okay. Get a little more crimson. I want some more. Oh, purple. There we go. Now, I got the shade of purple that I'm looking for. Get some glaze. Put the glaze into this purple. All it does is thin this color. It does not change the color. It just makes it transparent, so your work underneath shows through. Okay, and I can do some cutesy little things here, all up in here in the shadows. Okay, really clear. So I'm incorporating some of this purple into the gray areas of the snowbank. This is how you're building up layers in there. Okay, and that's all you're doing. You're just building cute little layers of color change and all that smooth. So you smooth it out like this. See this? Just smooth it right out. Now glycerin expands as it dries. So whatever streak marks you see, it'll go away. Just like that. Don't worry about streak marks and such an abrupt change in the colors of your snow. Have no fear, because you can go back over it with white. Okay, to capitalize on your snow there. All right. Here's some more glycerin. No water, all glycerin. I'm going back into that lighter color, that lighter bluish purple. Why am I doing that? Because we're going to go back over here. It brings it up a little closer right here. Okay, because this is kind of set back a little bit there. And we'll just take this lighter color and we'll just kind of definitely set this back. We're glazing right over it. Remember, you're just adding color. You already did the rest of the work. All right, so you're just glazing the color right on there. And give it a chance to dry, and you'll see that once it dries, even though it's glazed and it's shiny, it will still dry flat. So it won't be covering up all your brightness like you would think. But setting that back brings this snowbank up front. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm gonna take some of this light color here, and I'm coming back here, right back here, right back here. It might appear dark first, but we can glaze a lot of that away. We'll wipe a lot of that away, but I want to just get another plane of snow back there. I'm just wiping off my brush and very lightly just going across, get rid of the streaks. It will expand and flatten out. Don't worry about it. Hashtag what? That's right. Don't panic. Okay. Much like that. Of course you missed it, but all I did is color that in. That's no big deal. Okay. Now that we've completed a bunch of that, I'm just cleaning off the brush real quick. I'm going to get a smaller brush. Okay. I'll get this little 1/4" brush, a little short guy, little thin fella. This would be a number 10 Royal here. All right. Okay. So let's go back to this big guy right here. Let's go back to him. I'll zoom him out just a little bit. Zoom him out. All right. Pure titanium white. That's all we're going to use. Nothing but titanium white. Only the tip. You see that? Just the tip of this thing. Just the tip. Now what we're going to do is now that you got your shade all settled in there, we're gonna tap a few nice little highlights, and we're gonna use the side of the brush, and we're gonna just kind of put some of those nice snowy highlights up in there like that. See this? That's all you need to do. Okay, and we're gonna do that periodically through the whole thing. All right, and you just want highlights, just tap it in, tap. Okay, just like that, because the glycerin is still fairly slick. Okay, so just tap in where you want your direct highlights to be. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off my brush, and I'll just slowly tap in and fade some of that in there. Now this almost looks like you're doing clouds. Okay, it's the same technique, essentially. All right, and we're gonna come up top here. We're gonna top off some of that high snow up in there, and you're just using nothing but pure titanium white, no more, no less. Especially up top here, you want it to kind of shine, because this is the foreground. You want your highlights to hit kind of strong in here. Okay, and I'm still keeping within the path of your snowbank here. Okay, and as I'm doing it, with me, this is just my preference. I like the high shine on the top, and you just kind of glaze over and just rub out the bottom there. Bring it into the previous color. This is how you build it up. You can spend as much time as you feel you need to get an effect like this across. Okay, really up to you. And remember, keep with the pattern of your snow. All right, I'm using the side of the brush. I'm gonna bring some of that over. Now, titanium white obviously covers a whole lot of everything, so just be mindful of that. Now, some of the blue is mixing in with my highlight snow, which is good. But you're bringing everything together. You just tighten it all up together. But as you can see, you got so much different layers and everything of your snow. All right, you got your shadow side of the snow because it's right there toward us. Okay, and that guy back there, you see the highlights and everything, but it's glazed over, it's a little darker, and I really don't have to do much with that. That's not, it's not necessary. This one here, toward the back here, yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't really have to do too much with that. I can just tease a few little things like this up on the top, only on one side up here. Okay, just like that. I get rid of some of the stuff on the bottom. But long as you got a pattern of it being on the top, showing off little snowbanks, especially going across the ice here. All right, that just adds to your dimension, even though it's far away, like so. And I'm gonna do it again. Now, as of me filming this, is early, so the sunlight, the brightest time of the day for our season is coming up. So it's really shining up this stuff, just like that. I'm gonna get rid of some of that bottom there, bring it up into here, just like that. So you're building up with the brightest part of your snow. All right, let's take this brush while I'm thinking about it. Now, for this to make effect, you got to go completely level, just like that. Go right across. Keep it as thin as you can. Go right across with this. Don't have to do a whole bunch of them. Just go across. It just sells the illusion of pure ice going across there. Keep it horizontal as you can. Okay, just like that. It just sells a little bit of shine on that ice there. I'm looking still. Let's see if I can get away with a few highlight patches back here. Same brush, same titanium white, nothing but pure titanium white. Okay, using the side of the brush. And right here on the mountaintops, just a little hint of a little glowy stuff happening. Just right in there. Maybe a little ridge here, just like that. Fade some of it out. All right, just really tiny stuff like that. Kind of highlight that ridge right in there. Make some of that disappear. See this? just like that. Bring it up to the front, make some of that disappear. Bring some of this out there, make some of that disappear. Give it a little love right here. Just like this. Go. Make sure you go in the path of your mountain though when you do stuff like that. Alright. And when you add some of this bright, you're definitely building peaks and things like that. Doesn't take much, trust me. And I'm going in one direction so you know where pretty much the light source is coming from. And you can put the light source wherever you want, but this is where it's coming from for me for this painting. Just like so. Just like that. I don't need too much of this to establish anything. We got a little ridge here where it kind of separates right up in here. Just like that. Nice little ridge, and make it disappear, make the bottom fade away there. As it dries, you still see some of the color from the other previous stuff you laid down there. And you're just having a little fun. Just like that. Now, beneath the bear's legs, let's go over here. Fairly dark underneath their legs, and I'm more than likely keep it like that. I think we're good. I'm looking, basically, to make sure everything's straight, everything's good. And it is, more or less. I can scrumble some little pieces of white in there. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just scrubbing a little baby pieces of white in there. Don't necessarily have to, but I will. And it's just little miniature pieces of white. And it will make sense once we get to the bears. The bears are the final things I have to do really in this painting, and more than likely will probably take the most time. Getting their little fur and whatnot going on. So we will conclude. I just want to make sure that it's matched up right. When we get back, it will be bear time. I have to look here. Yep, I think we got everything. You'd be surprised where they actually are. Okay, because I got so much you can't really tell. I'm looking right at it. I know where it is. You just don't know. Okay, when I get back, we shall do the bears. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. So, in the last segment, we've pretty much painted the foreground, the background, and the sky. Okay, alrighty then. What I did off camera here, the mountain range in the back, I glazed it over very lightly with black. It's just glycerin and some black, and I just glaze over it, just set the mountains back a little bit more. All right, see? So it sets it back. All right, okay. So we still got a deeper foreground, got your midground, then it glazed the back there, and then you got the auroras in the background back there. So now we get to the bears here. Okay, 2-inch masking tape for the bears, and you just carefully just peel it off. Now I'm using an X-Acto knife. I really don't want to scratch up anything, but I'll find a spot here where I can lift up the tape, and once I lift the tape like so, just be very careful with it. Now, because of the time frame of all of this, the majority of the painting is already dry. It's acrylic paint. Okay, I'm gonna set this knife down, and I'll slowly and carefully. Now on canvas, you don't have to be as meticulous, but this is paper, so I'm gonna have to just watch my little P's and Q's doing this. But I'll just gently peel off the tape, just like so. It's in 2 strips, so it's like that. And just peel it off. Just be careful. I'm giving a slight pull as I'm doing this. All right. Never rush this part. Don't do that. You're just aiming for some heartache when you rush. So like I say, it's a slight pull as I'm doing it. Peel it off. Where are we at here? Go from the corner. I'm just using my nail. Yes, slowly. Now your tape isn't porous, so it might be a little tacky or damp, depending on the temperature of your room. I'm pulling as I'm taking it off, and there it is. Not only one, but two polar bears. All right. Okay. Now the polar bear approach, we will do a little differently here. Okay, they are at an angle here. All right. Okay, I'm going to take my script liner. I'm going right into my very tacky black paint here. And I am going to circle in this guy's eyes first. And from this distance, all they are is just dots. All right. And then obviously you got the nose. You don't see too much detail in their face being at this distance. So it's all about the body itself. I gotta get a little bit of water. It's too tacky. Water loosens up the paint a little bit. More water. And going into the details of just getting his nose in there. And just use brushes that are conducive to what your subject you're painting. All right. Just like that. I'm just darkening in what I know is going to be black, which is inside of his ear a little bit there, like that. I'm gonna show you how to do fur, because animals are meticulous because of the fur. So I'm gonna show you a way to do this and yet keep it looking somewhat like real fur, especially on an animal that's white. All right. Now, this fella does have, I'll just do it this way. A little thinner there, just like this. And thin it right here. Have it come down a little bit. Come downward a little bit, like so. Like a slightly open mouth there. All right. Getting some more tacky black here, so I can put the little beads of his eyes in there. They're both looking at the camera there. And what I'm going to do is a series of glazes and washes and all of that fun stuff. All right. Now, with a polar bear, the way you would shade him, because like I say, they are white. What we're going to do is we're going to coat them in gray, and then we're going to build from there on each one. And this is how you're going to separate some of his fur, some of the details, and how you're going to patch some of the fur. Okay. I'm just getting some more black because, you know, got to put the inside of his ear in there. And I'm just dotting it here and there. This will, I'll more likely be going over the black areas. As we do the glazing and stuff, some of this will disappear. Okay. All right. So what you're doing is you're going to approach your bears just like you approach the snowbank themselves. All right. Now there's a little patch here that I got to get rid of, right in here, because this is actually all there. That's all him. He's covered in fur there. But as you can see, the background is in there with these guys. All right, which matches where the snow is over here, overshadowing a little bit of the frozen lake there. All right. I'm looking here. Okay, I think we pretty much somewhat got everything. I have to do a little correction here. I'm gonna do that real fast. Got a little bit of white. It's over here where his paw is, because the mountain comes above, right up in here like that. So we'll add that part real quick. Get a little slight touch of blue if it didn't get too. It looks like it got hard on me here. I don't think I can even get nope. I might have to get some more blue. I think we're done here with the blue. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a touch more blue. It looks like I got nothing to cover it up with. So let me get another slight pinch of blue. I might even use the blue on the bears anyway. So we'll be creative here. The bears are the only thing to do with these guys. So I got a little bit of blue. Okay, and I'm just gonna match up a little bit what we got here, like that. Clean it up. I know we had a little bit of purple happening, so I might make a slight bit of purple. Slight bit. Brush is still kind of wet, and we'll patch some of that in, like that. Up under here, give it a little shadow, just like that. Okay. I'm not going to totally rinse off the brush and get a little bit of titanium white, the smallest bit. Because the paint's still relatively, there we go, relatively wet, so some of this will soak through. And we're going to just marry both of these two together there, like so. Get a little more titanium white, just like that, and run it right into the white that is covering the ridge a little bit. Just like so. When it dries, it'll look just like it. Like you never really did anything there. Just like so. And no one ever know that you even added in anything, because it's completely covered up like that. And there you go. Okay, we're going to do one bear at a time. We're going to work our glazes and all that good stuff. Now he's been lightly penciled in. Okay, so I'm taking some white paint, and I'm gonna take some black here. All right, get a little more white, and we're gonna glaze this guy right in, or at least give him. We're gonna just give it a good wash of gray. And I just got water this time. No glaze as of yet, no medium. Just water right now. And what I'm going to do is give them a general color, but certain spots that are shaded in, I'll go with a darker gray. Okay, so we're going to have all this work for us, not against us. All right, you know, I guess I'll do, let me do the big guy here first. We'll do this one. We'll do this one first. And we're going to give him a nice little wash of color here. Just like that. We're going to gray him right in. I'm going to gray him in by each body part. Do it that way. Just like so. Just like this. Now, why am I covering a white bear gray? Because you're going to do the building of his fur. Because, you know, there's dark patches of obviously dark fur in there. And I'm just dipping in some more water into this light gray. Dark patches of fur in there. Because, you know, their fur is in layers. Okay. So you might see a little tinge of this gray, but you're not going to see too much of it when it's all said and done. You'll see the bright titanium white will show up in the final stage of this big guy. Okay, just like that. I'm still looking at it here. I do have a picture of the bear. Okay, I just freehanded this. I didn't trace it or anything. I just freehanded this big guy. All right. And wherever it's a little dark, that's what I'm going to add for this patch of gray here. And underneath where her forearms are, it's also got this little patch of gray here like this. Just like that. Okay. The center part of her head, right in here, it's a nice patch of gray right in here. And it goes down by her nose like this. Just like that. Okay. Oh, it might be a little tinge of that underneath here like this. Like so. She's got like a little patch of it by her eye. Like that. Same thing. Go identical on the other side. Just like so. Okay. Go right around her eye as close as you can. Like I said, you'll be going back over the dark parts of her eye in case it gets covered like that, but that's okay. Much like that. A little bit here, a little bit here, and we'll leave it alone. Much like that. And we're gonna come over here, give it a little bit. You see the striations there? All right, we're going to be doing a lot of that. Okay. I'm looking. Okay, I think we're fairly okay. Just about. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit lighter with the gray. Same spot. It's just not totally white, but it will be lighter than what you see. And we're going to do her midsection here. Midsection's got a little brighter gray right up in here. All in where the light tends to hit with the creature. This very large carnivorous animal of the north. Like I say, the bears take a little time to do. And polar bears have an unusual shape different from many of the other bears. Okay. Much like that. All right. Okay. The front half is a little lighter. At least the front part where it's a lighter gray up in this area. So we got all different types of gray going on. This has got more paint than anything. Just like that. I'll make sure I go around her head or his head. And all this underpainting will help. Just like that. As we get down by where the snowbank is, just be careful. And just blocking in color. You always have kind of an ugly stage, you know? And this is it. Right now it just looks like a giant panda, if you haven't noticed. So it's the giant panda stage here. And it's okay. We'll be doing bear number 2 the exact same way. Just like so. And I'll snow in some of that color. You can go right over it because this is a lighter color than the one that's preceded it, so you can go right over it. It's okay. It is such a thin layer of paint. Like I say, this is more paint than water. There. Just like that. Okay. We're going to get a little more black, a little more titanium white and black, a little darker, because we're going to do the back part of the leg back there. So it's a little darker right back here. And as you can see, we're doing different shades of gray for this guy or lady. And big with don't know which is which. And I'm not brave enough to lift up her skirts and find out. There. Okay. Just like that. Okay. It's subtle, but it is there. It is a different shade of gray. All right. Oh, we can probably scumble some of that darkness over here too. Just a little bit. Just like that. Shadow her head a little bit there. Come down. Much like that. Much like that. Even in the back of her head here, it's got a little bit of that. You know, she got quite a shadow there. Back here, you can do the same thing. She is or he is quite a massive animal. Just like that. Okay? Just like that. All right. So we got that one kind of blocked in. All right. Getting some more water. This fella in the back there, I might just use this shade just to block him in entirely, because he's a little bit behind the other bear. So we might be able to cast him a little more shadow-ish color. So I want to make him a little darker. Make him a little darker there. Make sure I go around the head, shoulder area, like so. Just like that. Come on around. See, I knew this was going to take a little time. It's going to be one of these long tutorials where you're just going to have to pretty much pack a lunch. All right. Now I'm shading him darker because he is in the back. Okay. And make sure you got enough of the proper shading color. All right. And be careful going around the edges. Now when you shade in or block in animals, they tend to get a little larger than you intended, even if it's by just a little bit. It's just the nature of when you mask stuff and the unsteadiness of your hand that sometimes it just happens. Until you get more accustomed to doing this, like I say, it's just going to happen that way. All right, I just got to look at Mr. Bear here and see. He's got a massive head and neck. So I just want the major part of his body first. Just like so. Up under here. Like that, and like this, and like that, and like that, and like this. Okay. All right. Okay. Still using the same tone of gray. That's his ear. We're going to get a little bit forearm here. Rest of his little jaw underneath. Go underneath here. Keep that shape. They got kind of a wide face there. Forearm, still the same color because this bear's in the back. And we're going to handle it like so when we get the glazing and all of that good stuff. But you block them in fairly dark, like so. All right. Okay. Getting some more of the dark. Actually, I have to go a little bit darker now because we got the underneath his underbelly there. It's a little darker right under here. This is behind him here, back here. Still him. They're about 10 feet long or so, 11 feet, something like that. They're, pretty large. I think the only thing bigger than these guys are Kodiaks. Maybe. But they are fairly large, but there you go. All right. His face is pretty much the same type of mask. I'm going to use the same tone here. And we're going to just gently mask his face around like right from his nose there, just like this. Just mask his face, just like this, and we'll kind of give it a little tuft here, just like that, right by his eye. Come around and mask the front part of his face here, just like this. And we're gonna come up around here like that, and it comes this way. And we're gonna cover that and mask that a little bit. Come down below. And it's not all the time you see their mouths either. And right here, get a little bit kind of for underneath there, up around in here, where his part of his neck is over there. He is quite a large animal there. All right, much like that, and we're going to build off of that. All right, okay, and here we go. I'm gonna put this brush away. We're gonna get a almost look like a pouncer brush. So I gotta turn around. Here we go. This one ought to do just fine. Okay, so we're gonna start establishing different little bear patterns. We're gonna do this one, so I'm gonna bring him up closer in the screen. All right, and we'll try to center this guy right about here. We're gonna reduce go back a little bit so I can put all of them in there. Because he's at an angle there. That covers all of them. All right, and here we go. Now I do have enough. I got enough titanium white to do what I'm about to do next, but it will be in series. It will be in little blocks of gray first. Okay, this is his back leg back there. All right, I'm just gonna get a little touch of water to loosen up this gray just a bit. All right, and what I'm gonna do with the back end back here is we're gonna give it a little tap. All right, like that. See those little patterns there? See those little dot type patterns? We're gonna keep with those dot patterns, keep going. Okay, just like that. Keep going with it. It does not, you're not gonna hurt anything going over the lines. Trust me. Just like this, little dot patterns. Just like that. All right, keep at it. If you go outside the lines of him, that's fine, because you know the hair isn't exactly perfect. Okay. Now I'm gonna get a little brighter white. I didn't clean nothing. And then you're gonna hit and miss on certain aspects of him. Like this. Look. See this? See those little patches? Okay. See, doesn't that look fur-like for this rather meaty individual? Okay. You're not gonna get rid of all of your, just like that. So wherever you want the brightest part of him to be, or her, that's where you add the most white, which will be in toward the rear part is the brightest area. And I'm just tapping in some more patterns of his fur, like so. Come on down there like that. And as I'm tapping, it also blends. Okay, look at that. You can't tell me that don't look bear-like. All right. Pretty cool, pretty cool. We're gonna get more of this darker shade down below where the stomach is, right here. Down in here, let's go a little darker. Get a little more titanium white, just a little touch of black. And we're gonna go underneath him, right in here. Just underneath, just like that. Keep going, just like this. All right. If I can do it, and if it's in It's just darker gray, right up in here. Just like this. Just tone it in a little bit. Just like that. Alright. Go back into my titanium white. And we're going to get some of those patterns in there like this. You don't have to press, you don't have to really press too hard. Just like that. Cover them. Just like so. Go a little bit outside the lines. Just a little bit for hair sticking. Get the impression of hair sticking out there a little bit. And we're going to come on. Bring that in like this. Okay. Just like that. And we'll lightly tap in into the other color. Like so. You can't tell me that don't look like a polar bear, right? Okay. I'm just tapping into the black, into the white. It's getting very tones of gray. That's all I'm doing. Right here by the flank, where it's a little dark at, can I help that out? Look. See this? See how you can accentuate all of that? Look at this. See how you bring it out? Just like that. Okay. And we're going to bring some of that dark right down here. Just tap it in there. Be very gentle with your patterns. Look at that. Okay. Now I'm going to rinse off my brush because it's got plenty of gray. See? Not as involved as you think, huh? The brush looks like this. Like a light little pouncer thing. Alright. This is a size 6. So this is for the brush, is a long handle guy. Okay. I'm just getting some more titanium white. And believe it or not, I might have to even get a little more black. Because you know how this paint, over a little while, it starts to tack up a bit. And that's just what's happening. I'm just getting some black paint here. You'll find yourself, depending on your style of paint and what you want to paint, you'll find yourself going through a lot of paint. All depends. You might not paint as often as I do. And I'm just using craft paint for this stuff. I got this matte black and I got white. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Nothing but pure titanium white. I'm just going to tap it into the bristles. Pure titanium white. This is where things get a little interesting. Ready? I'm going to use the side of the brush and with a light touch like this, you pop in those highlights. Okay. Up on the rear end here where the light's kind of catching in. It's heavier around the outline there. And then you fade some of that out. But you got like a lot of the glow happening around there. All right, and you just kind of tap, tap, tap. Okay, that's basically what you see me doing here, and there, and a little bit there. I'm taking the paint off the brush. Okay, and then I'll just lightly tap it into his little fur there, just like that. Just like so. So just marry the two together. Just tap. I'm not rubbing or scrubbing or scrambling or anything. It's just a series of taps. Alright. Okay, I'm checking it out a little bit more here. I'm just getting a little more of the white, and we're gonna kind of lighten up over here. Not totally white, but let's lighten up just where the side of the ribs are. And it just disappears into the dark there. Like that. This is how you build up for your bear. Okay. Stuff just like you'll see me doing here. Alright. I'm getting some more titanium white. And we're gonna wake up that little patch right in here. Just in here. Okay. Pure titanium white right up in here. Just tap it right here by the back of the forepaw. Right back here. A couple of little taps of color. Just like so. Just like this. All right. Just like that. Pretty cool, right? That's not too bad. So we almost got bear number 1 finished. As I'm filming this, it's the literally the middle of the day, so I'll be getting some people popping in on me here and there. I'm just getting a very small brush so I can get to the details of the bear's face. Okay, and it's going to be the same method. Okay, same method. I'm gonna start off with a little bit of gray first, and then we're gonna work on from there. Gotta get the patterns in there. All right, and here we go. I guess we'll zoom in a little bit on, because I'm working on the face here. I'll get the face taken care of. Okay, and here we go. And I'll just pounce a little paint on. As soon as I get some paint on it. Okay, there we go. Just pounce a little bit of the little paint on here. Just like this, just pouncing it on. And we're gonna lighten up some of this area, but right now its focus is getting rid of all of the white that you see. I'm not adding any glycerin or anything to this. Right around the shading of the head, more or less. I'm getting some more paint here. Very thin layer of the paint, just like so. We'll be adding little kinds of stripes and stuff. And like I say, we'll be strengthening up this black around the mouth area, of course. Getting the tiniest touch of black. Okay, and some white to lighten it up. This is why I prefer the titanium white. And this is a very tiny brush, so I don't have to really go. I'll use the bigger brush once I get the little details going on the face here, just like so. Very patchy. Like I say, some of it go outside the lines a little bit, if you must, just like so. And we'll start darkening in and shaping things up as we move along. Okay. I might not use this brush. I might use I got a smaller brush doing pretty much what I did here. Okay. And I do got a smaller circumference one, and I got it right now. Okay, and nothing but pure titanium white. I'm tapping it into the bristles. And here we go, especially around the edge of the ear, right about here. Just like that, very soft, so you can get that the striations working there. And we're gonna outline, same different, outline the size of his face there, just like this, just like that. And we're gonna come up underneath, just like this, in certain spots, just like that. And we're gonna come up in here, a little bit, just pure white. Okay, much like that. I can smooth some of that out. Come up around here. There's a lot of dry brushing. Now, when I dry brush, it's when I dry brush the fur on, it smooths it out, but you're not going to get everything's not going to disappear. Okay, you can still get some patches. And that's pretty much what you kind of want. for the dry brushing will do. There we go. We can mirror some of that dark gray in there. Okay. Like so. I'm coming over here to the side of his or her face. Right up around here, I'm just gonna dry brush a little bit, because you're not gonna get rid of all that gray that you don't want to do. All right. So you add a little bit of care over here to the outside a little bit. Just like that. Okay. I'm getting some more titanium white. Time to do some more highlights. Just some brighter ones that kind of make it stick out a little bit more, like right around in here. Do it dead on, like this. Just like that. Bring some hairs out there like this. Just like that. Stronger patch in there a little bit. Trail it on. Getting some more straight titanium white. Add some of that brightness in there. And with your brush, very lightly, get some light hairs going there. Just try to brush some hairs here and there, just like that. Okay, all of that adds, trust me, up around here on her back, or his back. Just like that. Getting some more just straight titanium white, very bright, right up on the head here. Pop some hairs up in there like that. Back on the rim of the ear a little bit. Up here on the side. Just like that. All right, we're gonna go into a little bit of black. I'm gonna gray up some of this white here. And we're gonna work, I should work with a bigger brush with this part, actually. I should. Up into here. And we're just gonna close knit taps in there. Just like that. You're not getting rid of all that gray. Don't do that. Just like that. Alright. I'm wiping off some of the paint off the brush. I'm going straight into titanium white. And we're gonna marry some of that together up around in here. Just like that, bring it in together. You see how much care and how much you have to get into the shading, getting the roundness, especially around the fur area here. Get up around in here a little bit. I'm going back into my black. Darker tones all up under here. Patch it up a little bit. Just like this. Get a little bit of titanium white. I did not clean the brush. And you're gonna bring some of that in there like that. Now remember, when it dries, it's gonna take up some of the color that preceded it. Like that. And I don't really want any hard lines. Just like so. So you got all that nice dark texture going on. I'm going to take a little more black, darker gray, all up under here. white, not even a semblance of white. And I'm just bringing down the tone of that gray down there. Get a little patch going, just like so. So if we pull it back a little bit, okay, you kind of have your, see what your bear's starting to look like here. And I'm checking it out here and there. Go a little bit of shadow underneath his face, just a little bit there. Okay. There, I don't want Mama Bear to look entirely super mean or anything. You're still not going to come up on her and act crazy. I'll put it to you that way. She'll keep you in check. Be grateful she don't have cubs. I'm just shaping up the bottom of her elongated face here. Excuse me. Like so. I'm still checking it out here off and on to make sure everything's straight. Now I'm going to go back into my script liner if I can find it. I should have put it back where I can't see it. Oh, there you are. We're going to strengthen up her mouth and eye area again. Told you you'd be coming back to this. Get into the ear a little bit. Back into their ear. Like so. Darken her eye. Bears aren't evil creatures that are looking for somebody to eat. They're just doing what they do, natural order of life. Stay out of their way, pretty much. And I'm just strengthening up. Got that slight teardrop thing going on there. All right. I knew that was going to happen. All right. I gotta return some gray here. I just kind of messed up there. Make that disappear a little bit. All right. Okay, I do believe bear number 1 is pretty much done. We're gonna move on to bear number 2 here. Bear number 2, I'm gonna get a little bit of gray as usual. This one here is set back a little bit, remember? All right. All right. And since he's set back a tad, let me just be careful here. Let me use this darker gray, and we're gonna, that's too light. That's too light. Let me brighten that up a little bit. Okay. And we'll start patching in. Can you guys, yeah, you guys can see that. We're going to patch in some of the fur and everything in here. Not getting rid of the original. We'll get some fur going here. It's pretty close to the, up in here like that. Just like so. Don't worry, we'll put a little bit of lighter tones in there. But right now, just like that. Get some hair going on the side of him. Now you have to do it in a way where it doesn't look like a big old plush bear. Okay. But the pouncing thing you see me do, that's pretty much the way to go with this guy. And we'll get some of that lighter that I'm getting it lighter like this, at least on the one side here, I'm going to start to tighten up some things on the brayer in the front. So we're just establishing some patterns of fur. And remember that where the light is hitting, the light source is around in here, just like that. And we're gonna kind of swaddle some of that up in there, just like this. And we'll get some stronger white right here on the end of them here, just like that. Just up in here like this. Some of this will disappear when I put the darker shades back on. Alright, and we're going to start to kind of fill in his face a little bit there, just up around in here. Just tap it in there, just like you see me doing here. Don't get rid of all the dark. At least try not to get rid of all the dark. Don't rush it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, give me a touch of black. There we go. Kind of return some of that. Just a little bit, and we're going to come up under here. We're going to go a little darker, just a darker gray up under here, just like this, a little up underneath, directly up beneath the chin. And remember the neck, got the neck here, you got the shadow, little shadow for him. Okay, all up under here, pop in some of that dark there, just like that. Get a little bit here. Just gradual stuff. Like that. Alright, I'm going into some titanium white. We'll brighten up some spots here and there. You can deaden up some spots. Let's lighten some of that up in there. Like that. We'll smooth some of this out here. Just like this. Okay, going a little bit lighter. Pop some of that around in here. Not totally white. It's shades of gray, but you can't really tell. I mean, you can tell. You know, you put it up against white, you will see how bright it actually is. Just like this. Pop some of that in there. Just like that. Clean it off the brush. And we're really going to go into some titanium white up here, up top, up here, just like that. Pop some of that in there, really. Because like I said, that's where the sun's kind of hitting, or the sun, probably moonlight. Definitely not the sun. And up here and around the sides here, give him a little something there, just on one side of his face. We're going to darken up a little bit of this half, a little. So I'm just going back into the gray a little bit, and we're going to series of dots. It's the bristles that are really helping this out. It's like that. So we're kind of deepening one side of his face here, real. Kind of smooth that out a little bit. Bring some gentle shading into his fur there. Just a little bit. Still looking. I'm gonna go a little bit darker, not totally black, but very close to it. And pop some of that dark shading pattern up under here. Establish a little bit of shadow for this fella. All right, okay. Now I can glaze, I can be real sneaky and glaze in a few colors in there. Okay, because we're like at the 99.9% mark of this video here. So we're on the tail end here. All right. Just putting the brushes back, Because like I say, we're on the tail end of this, so I'm just returning some of the brushes back, because I got them all over the place here. And I try to keep somewhat of an organized, neat appearance. I really try. Do I pass? No, not all the time. Okay, we're gonna get some glaze here. We're gonna be real sneaky about this. Get some glaze. Get the touch of blue. Slight touch of the blue. Gonna be real sneaky about this. A lot of glycerin, because it is a white bear. You want to pretty much keep it that way. But we're going to be kind of sneaky a little bit, and we'll kind of put some. We're going to be real coy about the blue here. Underneath some of the shadow areas here, we're slapping some of that light blue, like that. Up around in here a little bit. All right, real sneaky about it there. Smooth it right out. See, smooth it right out. Just like that. So you can sneak some color in there. All right. Believe me, they'll appreciate it. Look at that. Just rub that color in there. Just like this. See how sneaky you can be? Put some of that right up underneath the belly there. Just like that. Now you're adding about depth and dimension to your bear. Okay. So the big guy. And you're building shadows and all that good stuff, that little shadow part there. Put some of that on this side of the face. I'm just rubbing it with my finger over there. All right. Of course, this fella in the back, he's mostly in shadow, so you can be real slick. Watch. Go over the white and everything. Just like this. Put him in there. He's in shadow back there. Mostly all glazed up. Okay. See how you can turn a bear blue and yet you still know he's a polar bear? That's what your glazing will do. Okay. All that glazing, that's what it does. Make sure you bring the glaze color into the darker areas also. All right. And if you notice, it really sets his head forward. Okay. Now I got more glaze than paint right now. I'll get a little bit of paint on this, and we'll tease some of that lightness up in here. Not too much. Okay, I'm just using my hand here, just like that. Okay, we can kind of shadow some of this a little bit, just a little. I'm just using my hand just to shadow her face just a tad. We can kind of darken this up a little bit more too on this side. All right. Definitely polar bears. You cannot mistake them for not being polar bears. Okay, they even got the polar bear shape. All right. Okay. So I really hope that I've shown you how to do this. Any comments, leave below. Like I said, I sincerely hope I did this right for you. Okay. A very neat way to shade. I'm just getting some blue paint here. Put my name on it. You guys can't see me put my name on it, but I'm putting it, just writing my name down real quick. Signature. Get a little water. Paint's too thick, of course. Yeah, that's better. All right. If you'd like to donate, I got my PayPal account. They should be popping above the screen right about now. All right, let's pull back. Let you see what this fellow's all about here. And there you go. Aurora Borealis with 2 polar bears. All right. As you can see, the aurora aren't super bright, but you can still see the colors. Okay. The bears are definitely, they're bright enough where they can be seen. They're separated enough. All right. I snuck some blue in there for some sneaky little shadows. He's a little more blue, but it still registers as a white bear. Okay, that's how you can sneak all them colors. We got purple and blue, light blue. We got gray all over the place in here. But everything will register as a winter scene and being white. Okay. I'm going to do something a little different too. I'm going to throw in some snow. That's what I meant to do. I meant to throw some snow in this thing. It would look, to me, I think it would look a little more like being in the north. Okay, so I'm getting a little titanium white. I'm gonna pour just a little bit there. All right. I am going to get, I'll do it with the toothbrush this time. I'll get a toothbrush. I'm soaking my toothbrush in a little bit of water. Okay, and I'm just tapping right now some of the white in there. I kind of want the snow to be a little thicker. All right, I'm getting a touch more water because, you know, this titanium white is a thick paint, but I don't want to like oversaturate it. And here we go. The closer you are, the more control the splatter. So I'm gonna go back a little bit, and then I'm gonna just give it a few flicks like this, and it's definitely got to be white. Okay, the whiter the better. Got to be white, and I'm getting some more. Like I say, I want the flakes to be a little larger. All right, so they can be seen. All right, and plus everything here is, need more white. Need more water, actually. This is some thick paint. There we go. I should have used a different, I could have used a fan brush for this, but it's okay. There we go. Oh, yes, there we go. We have it now. And put the white all up in here, up across the bears. Okay, they got to be thick enough. So, you know, it takes a little practice. Thick enough so they don't run. Big enough so they don't run, but thick enough so they can be seen, of course. And so I'm just throwing some snow on this guy. Just like so. I think we're good. This should be enough. Especially around the bear. Okay. Bears. And there we go. A completed snow scene with 2 polar bears, the Aurora Borealis. Got some snow happening. So, okay. There we go. I do have a frame. I might as well show you. This is 11 by 15, so I do have a corresponding frame that fits with it. Excuse my head. All right, I think I'm gonna take these nodules off because this is just a display frame. But anyway, I don't know how much you can see it with a black frame with a black background, but there it is. All right, with a black frame. I have a brown frame. I'll show you with a brown frame, but this is the actual size that this goes with. Okay, so, well, there you have it for that. Let's show you what it looks like with a brown frame. This brown frame is more 11 by 14, but it's so thick that it covers up most of whatever. But it would look like this with a brown frame, more or less. Okay, so it looks something like that. All right, and you notice that the bears are off center, but that's all right. And, it's all about composition. Didn't want them dead center. Okay. And the mountains are back there. Composition-wise, I think is just perfect. And we got different shapes and patterns for the auroras. All right. So they're not the typical Bob Ross type auroras. These are a little more stylized, almost like what they would look like in nature. Okay. And I did show you how to accomplish that. So, all right, guys. All in all, thank you very much. I hope this helped you out, and I shall see you when I see you. All right, take care. Peace. Yuck. Peace.